Welcome to the DNVR pre-game show, live from the Toyota Lounge, presented by our sponsors at Coors Light. Coors Light is brew cold, and it's cold, and you know it's cold by the blue mountains on the can. You can't go wrong with Coors Light. And if you want Coors Light delivered straight to your door, you can go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Go get it now. Celebrate responsibly. And I think it's perfect time to chill right before the game. Have you a couple Coors and just chill
and turn up.
I want to take a second to welcome
some new faces.
My new faces, my new guests to the show.
Is we that new?
You guys have been here before, but now this is going to be something new for the fans. Every home game you guys are going to be on. Mr. Pro Bowl himself, Jurrell Casey.
Appreciate it.
And Mr. Running Back, one of the best running backs in the SEC history. And the best teardrop of all time.
Yeah, maybe that one. That's probably the best.
Knowshon Moreno.
What's going on?
How y'all doing today? Y'all
Great to be here.
Country, let's turn up.
Y'all excited about this Broncos game? How we feeling, man?
Feeling good. I think it's going to be a good one. I think, it's going to be a bounce back game, and especially for an AFC conference game, definitely needed.
I think it's important. There was a lot of talk about who was going to be quarterback this game, whether it was going to be Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. I personally wanted Russ. I think the matchup was better, but as we look at the inactives today, Russ is not going to play. It's probably going to be Justin Fields. How do you think that helps the Broncos or hurts the Broncos?
Yeah, I think we all want to see Russ, right? You know, the fans definitely want to see Russ back in town, see what he can do. And unfortunately, we don't see him. I think Justin Fields actually holds a greater sense of
challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the Broncos, he could do it with his legs, not so much with his arm, but he's getting better, right? I mean, you look at last week, Bo Nix and Justin Fields threw for similar amount of numbers.
Yeah.
And Justin threw for half the amount that Bo threw. He threw 40 plus passes, which is not going to cut it, you know. So I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. But I'm not very confident. I can't tell you. I'm not confident. Y'all confident about it?
I don't know.
I think they got a better chance this week.
I think they have a better chance this week, but I do understand what you're saying about Justin Fields. I want to see Russ because I feel like at least once or twice a game, he's going to give you a shot to get a pick. He's going to throw it up there for you. But I feel like with Justin, there's nothing worse than being, you know how it is.
He's going to lean on his legs all day.
Being 3rd and 8, and I was like, we got to get off the field, and they scramble for a first down.
Boy.
You looking at the sideline like, bruh, I'm tired. Like,
on his legs all day. And that's going to be the tough part. I hate to say it, but last week, Denver didn't look that hot rushing the quarterback that well, right?
Yeah.
And having Fields go out there and be able to be mobile in that pocket and get around and move around and stretch the field and gain up first yard, like you said, getting first downs on with your legs is the part that's going to be a drainer. But I think, offense could come in. Bo Nix is mobile. He can make some better, smarter decisions on the passes. I think his passes are accurate. The thing that was the bummer was just that, he was just trying to do a little too much, trying to force it. If he just make a little bit smarter decisions, I think Broncos got a good chance.
Yeah, I think he's going to be much better this game and feel like he's kind of getting to a rhythm. I did hear from like a little birdie, shout out Squizzy, the DJ at the stadium. There was reportedly not going to be any future played today.
Oh, they had future playing or something?
Because Russ, future playing, they were trying, they're trying to be nice about it. But now that Russ isn't playing, can we get future back on this, on the playlist?
Metro Boomin.
It should be.
What better music to vibe to before a game than Future?
That would have been great if he was playing, I think.
I know.
If he was playing, that would have been.
Maybe tedious now. He's not playing.
Now it's just like, we're just doing it.
They were saying they didn't want him to have like extra competitive edge or extra juices, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Feeling like the Broncos were messing with him.
I don't think that's Russ, though. I don't think Russ got that type of grit in him.
He hit out a dog like that?
He's not a dog like that.
Oh.
He hear that. He kind of stay inside his little cage. He gonna perform.
Yeah.
Don't take that from him. He gonna perform. He gonna do his thing, but it's not gonna give him that extra edge.
So the Future would have got to him.
Future would have got to him. Definitely.
Yeah, it probably would have.
Easy.
But I mean, I don't know, man. I see what you're saying with the challenges that Justin presents. But I like what you said, though, Todd. I think Justin will make that mistake. You know what I mean? Even though he does do it with his legs, I think if you stay on him long enough, you know what I mean, make him one-dimensional, I think he will throw it up to the defense and they'll come down for the ball. And then on the opposite side of the ball, on offense, I mean, I feel like we don't have that explosive player really to push this Steelers defense. I think the Steelers defense is really good. You saw T.J. Watt, what he did last week. I mean, wrecking havoc on the quarterback and on that pass offense. So,
last week, Broncos O-line though, they stood up pretty well. I don't think
for the most part
they didn't really give up that much. They allowed a little bit of pressure here and there, but like I said, with the mobile Bo Nix back there moving around, that's gonna slow down TJ a little bit.
But this
I think so.
But this defense is better than SEL's defense.
True.
And
even
think about
Sean
this.
said that he knows that this is a better defense.
And think about this. That's it. That Steelers defense goes against a mobile quarterback every day in practice.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're gonna see anything that they haven't seen.
Make a big difference.
I'm just saying it ain't like they haven't seen it. Listen, when I turn on that tape and I look at this roster all the way through, I ain't gonna even lie. Anywhere are you scared on the offensive side or defense?
And that's the problem.
And that's the problem. Yeah, maybe Pat's 10 on the outside. Yeah, you don't want to throw to him, but anywhere else on this roster, any position, I'm not scared. I'm not nervous.
And I think that's what you saw last week with the Seahawks is that they were able just to line up, load the box, and force them to throw it outside. I mean, you got a rookie quarterback. You have wide receivers who, you know, in Broncos country, we believe they're talented, but they're not necessarily like threats that you got to double just yet.
Yeah.
So it really allowed them to load the box, and then it kind of like pigeonholed us as far as what we could do. But you guys keep bringing up Bo. What do you guys feel like you need to see from Bo today to really feel like he took the next step? He's getting better, and he's going to be, I guess, our quarterback of the future.
Like I said, I think the biggest part of it is going to be him making the smarter throw. Like I said, he did a great job moving around in the pocket, getting away from pressure, and delivering an accurate ball. It just wasn't the ball to throw. And just making a smarter decision on which ball to deliver and which player to target a little bit more. I think he was just forcing a lot to Courtland a lot last week, where he just got to start reading the field and start making better reads. And once he do that, I think he's definitely he got the skill set.
Yeah.
He for sure got the talent. He definitely got the mobile ability back there to get the ball from third down and long and get to the first down when we talk about like Justin Fields, and he can actually throw the football. Mm-hmm. So it's just going to come down to IQ, I believe.
I agree.
Yeah. For me, I think he just has to stay efficient, honestly. Hopefully the coaches don't call 40-something passing plays. You know what I mean? Keep it manageable. Do what he does best. And honestly, other than that, there's nothing more that I want to see from Bo, because Bo is Bo. Bo is exactly the same person that we saw in training camp, exactly the same person we saw at Oregon. There's nothing. I'm sorry to say, it's nothing super special. It's just simple.
Yeah. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing, game management.
Yes.
Like you said, Sean Payton managed that game better. Don't put him in a situation to have to keep forcing these passes. Give him a balanced offense. And now you make the game plan a lot easier for your quarterback. Yeah. He makes smarter reads. He don't have to make the pressure reads and things like that. You got better play call when it's shorter yardage, right? When you're short yardage, you got better play call that you can make, you know? And you give running backs a chance to get out there and get involved. Definitely.
I'll tell you what, though.
I completely agree.
I'll tell you what, though. Let me on that. Yes, that sounds all good and gravy, right? If you have a run game. I mean, the leading rusher on that Broncos offense last week was Bo.
Exactly.
Exactly. Our running backs only had 30 yards, 20 yards, and that's on 18 carries. That's not going to cut it. You know what I mean? The pass game got to help the run game and vice versa, right? But we don't have no run game.
I completely agree, and I really want to dive into the help that I feel like Bo Nix needs, but I can't move further without talking once again about our friends of our Coors Light. Between work, social media, and the choices life throws your way, it's no wonder we're more worked up. Coors Light celebrate rising above and choosing a chill mindset. Why not turn a rained out barbecue into a karaoke house party, or after a tough loss, settle scores with an ice cold peace offering? Make the choice to choose chill. Then reach for a Coors Light, the mountain cold refreshment. And again, you can get Coors Light delivered straight to your door by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Now, you mentioned it right before I went to that read about how, you know, the run and the pass game work together. And last week, we really didn't see that. And I felt like a little bit too much was put on Bo Nix's plate. Throwing the ball 40 times is something that Peyton Manning does, or Aaron Rodgers, somebody who's like a veteran quarterback.
Right.
So What would be your suggestion for these running backs to have more success in the run game so that we lean on them a little heavier?
At the end of the day, it's not going away from it as a play caller.
Yeah.
Like I said, who was it? Jaleel had 10 carries. Williams only had like 8.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just not enough. I know sometimes it's not there and it's easy to get away from it, right? Like, hey, it ain't there. We got to go to pass. But sometimes you got to just stick with it. Give them more carries. Get them juiced up. Lean on that defense a little bit more, right? And then hopefully you can break that big, 15-yard play, that 20-yard play, and just kind of hit them with that 1-2 combination with Jaleel and Williams. You got the power, you got the speed. Hit them with both of those, right? And don't go away from it, even when it's not there.
I agree.
So,
Would you think it's more so O-line blocking or more so just play calling? That the run game's not there right now with his first week.
At the end of the day, it's going to be both. You know what I mean? It's a little some blocks up front that are not there, but then that's when you have to correct that as a running back and make them right, and don't lose any yards and get 1 or 2 tough yards that weren't there. Sometimes you got to do that, and then at the same instant, it is play calling and not getting away from that run game. And it's going to be those hard 2s, hard 1s, hard 3s. At the end of the day, you need that to help your pass game.
Now, last week they had a little bit of Audric Estime sprinkled in there, and he had a couple runs. Yeah. Do you feel like a 3-back rotation is too many? I feel like at that point, then nobody kind of gets going. Nobody gets into a rhythm. Everybody's sharing touches. I'm a fan of like 1 or 2, like a 1 or 2 punch. What do you feel like is like when you were playing running back and you had to share the ball with 2 other guys? Like, was that frustrating? Or how did you feel?
I mean, it could be, and people always ask me that. But I've been in a lot of systems where we did have 3 backs. I mean, at Georgia we had Craig Lumpkin, Danny Ware, Thomas Brown all in front of me, and we all kind of split carries. And then 2 guys left, and it was just 2 of us.
You
right? Yeah, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So I get it, right? And it is hard for guys to get in rhythms. It depends on the player. But I think for last week, what they were trying to do with Estime was kind of get him into the flow of things because we haven't been seeing what we saw in the last couple of years from Williams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think they're trying to get him going and say, okay, if Williams can be our power back, who can, right? And Estime has that frame and has that power in the run game. So I think they were trying to test that out to get him going on that offense. But now that he's hurt, who is going to be the other guy? It has to be Williams. So we'll see what the boys can do up front. We're gonna see.
We're gonna see.
Yeah, 2 backs is better though, right? But
I think it don't really hurt a system though having 3 backs. I think it definitely works. I went to one of the best RBU schools there is. Fight on, and as you know, they 3 backs all the way. With when I was there, Joe McKnight, Alan Bradford, and C.J. Gable, and each one of them put almost up 1,000 yards. And it really comes down to just play calling.
Yeah,
and that's why I asked that because when we was in tight games or Carroll was like, hey, run that rock,
right? Pound
that ball, and no matter what, 1 yard, 2 yard, they want to keep pounding it. And like you said, you can't get away from it, and that what kind of opens up your pass game a little bit more. Because now you got them all sitting in that box, open up with a play action. I feel like they didn't hit them enough last week with play action and
setting up plays.
Set it up.
It seemed like he's just going down the line.
We were talking about play calling, how you set up play calling. You call something in the first quarter to run something different, same look, but keep the defense on their toes in the third quarter. Talk a little bit about that, No,
exactly. I mean, you give them the same formation, give them 4 different plays.
Yep.
Like, where's all that at? No, not just calling any play and just hoping it works.
And I think that's the detriment of having a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Because coaches now get into that situation where they're like, we got to get the quarterback involved. And that's where the 4 passes come from, right? And they're not even thinking about the rest of the game plan or what really to be done to win the game. They just get this quarterback involved, make sure he's comfortable. And, I think it's going to open up with Sean Payton and his expertise and watching him from with Saints and all that. I think as he gets going, it will start opening up a little more for both.
Yeah,
Where the heck is Marvin Mims? Like, where's the speed at on this offense is what my question is.
I think they plugged him in training camp at wide receiver. And I don't know if it went how they thought it might go.
But listen, when you're a great coach, you build plays around the players.
For sure. I agree.
Right? If he can't be a receiver on the outside and beat the defense, then put him in a jet sweep. Put him in somewhere to take advantage of that speed. And I haven't seen it. Hopefully we see it today.
No, I think that's something that a lot of fans were talking about last week is that they were missing kind of like the shots going downfield with speed. The only issue that we have is that you get Bo Nix throwing the ball 40 yards down the field, and I think he was like 3 of 13 on any pass that was longer than 20 yards, and it was 2 interceptions.
Hey.
So it's like, I want to push the ball deep, and I want to have speed on the field to hit those targets, but if my quarterback isn't there yet, what am I supposed to do? So we've been talking a lot about game plan, and I really want to, pick your brain about game plan and this Pittsburgh defense. I mean, you got like guys like T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward,
Cam Hayward,
Patrick Queen. How do you game plan against those individuals to ensure success? Because they're built to stop the run, and the running game is something that we don't have right now.
And that right there is really the biggest part of how you beat the Steelers. Anytime I have played in my career playing against the Steelers and having any type of success against them, it's when you was able to establish the run. And when you can't establish that run, they're guys up front. When you talk about putting pressure on the quarterback, when you can get guys 320 pounds, 330 pounds can put pressure on your quarterback up in the middle of the pocket, it's where it disrupts a game plan.
Of course,
and that's where the Steelers defense come in big time. They front is no joke, and they're going to be putting on that pressure from interior to the edges, and they run few games. They beat you one-on-one rushes up front. So when you can do something like that, it's going to make a game plan, especially for a rookie quarterback, hard. Very hard. So it's going to be big for the Broncos to come out, establish that run early, very early, and hit them with a couple play action runs. I think they get sucked into a lot of man zone pressures, and when we can get to beat them into the little zone pockets, a little play action here and there. Dunk it in, like you said. You don't have to take them up top every time, but a good 15-yarder, a good 10-yarder here and there, something across the middle, sit in the pocket. You have to try to expose those guys, but it's going to be the biggest thing is stopping that pass rush is going to be the main thing when it comes down to it. Because, like you say, if you're going to drop back 30+ times, you're going to have to count for that guy off the edge.
Well, best believe they're going to have some chips on TJ. Have our tight end on them, double them a little bit, get out late, kind of concept. So I think that's going to help.
But history do repeats itself, and chips don't work on that man. I'll let you know that now. Chips don't work on that man.
He just goes outside and gets a sack.
Boy, I ain't never seen somebody get chipped so much and Dean still come out with a sack. Like that guy does that. So it's going to be big for us just to be able to expose those guys across the front, and our Bo's got to step up. Garrett Bo's going to have to step up front and hold it down and be a leader amongst the front right there and get those boys pushing and toting that rock. And that's what it's going to come down to, toting the rock. If Bowles can get the run game moving, get those guys running between the tackles and pounding these guys up front, we got a chance.
Yeah,
got a big chance.
I think Bowles is going to be a huge part of this story. I mean, he was out nursing an ankle injury starting the week, but it looks like he's going to be healthy enough to play. He's just going to have to be a big piece of this game plan this week.
Well, I mean, I want to see some more plays like they ran at Oregon, right? I mean, some quick things, get their playmakers out in space.
Yeah.
Maybe even a screen. Did y'all see a running back screen last week? I don't remember.
That was blocked very well.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see some of that today. Get this defense running side to side.
Yep.
And see if we can make some big plays down the field.
See, I think that's a great point, and I think you saw a little bit of RPO game last week. I just felt like when they did throw the RPO, it was like the first guy that touched the receiver was tackling him. They don't have the they don't have the guy that can really create mismatch and get those yak yards, because when you run the RPO scheme, 4 yards is cool, but you want 8 to 12, make the first guy miss.
And that's what he did at Oregon.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I hate to say, the guys around him made him better, right? I don't see Bo as being the guy that's going to make other guys better around him yet. Not
you don't think
yet.
You have that ability to elevate a player necessarily?
Not necessarily yet. I didn't see it at Auburn. I didn't really see it at Oregon. They had speed and had players to make big plays. So the guys
around him just got to step up then. That's what it comes down to. And we have the players to step up. It's not like we don't have the talent from a good running back core to receiver core to a decent tight end room.
Yeah.
Like, you have the weapons. It's just dialing it up, getting the balls in their hands, and these guys really showing up and pitting on what they get paid to do, right? Let your skills be demonstrated. Let your skills be on show, and stop BSing back there when you get that route.
Stop BSing. And stop BS. I love that,
Man,
because these
what?
boys need to bring it. Need to bring it. So let's talk about some predictions, man. Early in the week, I predicted the score to the game: Broncos 12, Steelers 9. It's going to be an ugly game. I think it's going to be a bring your hard hat to work game. For an inside linebacker like myself, I love these games. I ain't got to worry about covering too many people we just tackled. You know what I'm saying?
Because y'all don't do much on defense. You know?
Whoa. See, here
y'all
we
just
go.
run to the ball.
What do you mean?
What you mean? You just said it. You just said it.
No, I'm saying in this game I have to tackle. But I gotta get off a blocker. I gotta knock the fullback off, and then I gotta make the play.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's a lot.
Wait.
You know, I got these two defense guys right here next to me. They always, they picking on the offensive guy. But
All you gotta do is get the ball, and then everybody make a hole for you, and
that's
you
it. Literally, we hand the ball to you, and we say, use your little legs and run.
Okay.
That's literally it, bro.
Start checking.
You know. So when
That
you're on
is too
defense,
funny.
it comes with a lot. We gotta react to what we see.
Yep.
After reacting, we got to strike, get rid of players. After get rid of these players, we have to chase down somebody that can run a 4-4, 4-5. After chasing him down, I got to smack him and make sure he feels the presence.
Okay.
That's a lot to do in a day-to-day work when you just get to get the ball. And you know how it goes for y'all in practice, right? You get the ball, run, and get to go out to the sideline. That's the offensive guy's job.
I'll rebuttal
It's
some
normal.
other day.
So-
I'll let y'all win today.
There we go. Let's get back to the program.
So what you guys think for a score? You got any score predictions?
Yeah, man, I'm thinking, like you said, a low-scoring game. But until the Broncos prove it to me, I was the same way last year. Listen, I didn't expect the Broncos to win many games this year anyway. I can't lie. I'm just going to tell you the truth. Maybe 7-8, maybe, right? So until they prove it to me, I always got to go the other way. So I got a 17-16 game Steelers today. It's going to be low, but the Steelers are going to come out with this one. Until you prove it, until you show some consistency that you can get it done, especially versus the teams that you are supposed to beat.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, too. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Only way this game will go up more is if we get those defensive scores, right?
Oh, yeah, we need that. We're going to need that to win.
And that's going to be the big change in these games, getting the pick six turnovers and things like that, short field positions. And I don't see not one offense driving down the field, just pinning up points after points after points.
Yeah.
It's just too good defense. Broncos defense is not bad. Their defense is good. And they always have been a top 10 defense every year. Yeah. And I don't see that being no difference this year. Now, like I said, they can finish a lot more. They can finish on their plays a lot more when it comes to, meeting the guy in the hole, getting the pressure on the quarterback, getting them down. But I think, first game jitters, I think going forward, though, they're going to clean it up. And it's definitely going to be a low-score game.
So you're saying there's no way we put up 44 points?
Oh, I got the Broncos winning it.
There we go.
The Broncos winning it.
I love
got
that.
the Broncos winning it for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
That's a man of Broncos country, you know what I'm saying? We love to see that. But let's get into these Bet365. Our pregame picks are presented by Bet365. You can download the Bet365 app. Use code DNVR365 when you sign up. You can choose your offer and find out why whatever the moment is never ordinary at Bet365. Now I got a couple picks that I feel positive about, and you guys can let me know how you feel, if you like it, if you're rocking with it, you not, let it be known, and help people out so they can make some money today. My first pick is that you can take the over-under 35 points. I definitely think it'll be an under game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be a lot of defense being played, and I don't think that these offense right now are high power. I don't see 44 points, getting put up by one team like the Saints put on the Cowboys today.
Crazy.
How do y'all feel about that one?
I'm with you on that.
I'm with you on that for sure. I think it's a low-scoring game for sure. 35 points, probably even lower than that. Probably get even lower than that.
Yeah, I think this is the lowest total. 35 points is the lowest over-under of any game this week. So it's definitely, I think the rest of the nation and the analysts and the betting, the bettors also feel the same way. It's going to be a low-scoring game. The next one I have up here is
that was a touchdown,
Javonte,
right?
anytime TD, 175. So we didn't see a lot of touchdowns last week from our offense, and I think that has to change, and it has to start with the running game. A rookie quarterback's best friend is his running attack, and I think they're going to get it started early with Javonte having a touchdown. That's the anytime touchdown plus 175.
I think you get that perfect. That was perfectly said. If we have any chance of winning this game, we need Javonte to go out there and be Javonte. Dominate this field and run up and down these guys. Get the ball in open space. Make guys miss. No shoestring tackles. He had that first play when he bust in 20-yard run.
Oh, yeah.
Little shoestring tackle. You feel me?
Yeah.
You got to stay on your feet. You got to get up and keep it rocking. But I think it's going to be big for him.
All right, last one. I know this one's a little bit harder to get for us, I feel like, but I do feel like Bo is capable of having a 200-yard game. I feel like the difference between 200 yards last week was, I think there was 3 drops that would have really helped him get close to that 200-yard mark. And hopefully we don't throw the ball 40 times again. But if we do, I think there's a real possibility that Bo does have, 200-yard passing.
So you saying over for that one?
Yeah,
or
I would say he hits it.
He hits the 200.
200.1.
I'm sick on both of those. I don't think he'll get the touchdown, Javonte, or the 200.
Hey,
I think he for sure get the 200. I don't just see Courtland going another game with just 3 or 4 catches. I just don't see that really happening. And with him getting Courtland involved like that, he gonna get at least 100, 130. Courtland gonna get involved this week.
Yep.
Courtland gonna get involved this week.
Oh. What you got? What's his bet?
It's the personal bet. Pittsburgh at dealer under 19.5 points for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You parlay that with Bo Nix plus 150 yards passing, and you take the money line on the Denver Broncos. What does that pay out? You hear?
That looks good.
It's plus 350.
Plus 350. I think that's a great payout, and that really goes along with everything that we talked about for my picks. You know what I'm saying? As far as the numbers hit. So I'm not saying I miss Cleo over here, but you know what I'm saying? I feel good about what I put together right there.
I like
I feel
it.
good about it.
I love
but yeah,
that.
man, this is our show, man. This is what we're gonna do. Home games, and hopefully pre-game for sure. Hopefully we get you guys on a couple post games and we really dial it in. But we'll have guests join us, every once in a while, other Broncos alumni. So there'll be 3 or 4 of us here, and
should be a
love
great
having
one.
y'all on, man. I think it's a
It was a
great
blast.
segment.
Great start.
Thank y'all for who tuned in today. Appreciate y'all very
We've got to
much.
tell them, my boy Knowshon has a phone
Hey,
and
chill out,
we gotta
and the
show y'all
mouse.
this. We gotta show y'all this.
Tell me if you guys have ever seen this before.
Chill out, bro. Let me
He has the phone and the mouse,
let me get my stuff
but that's
going.
that's an Android.
Pull
So
that
maybe
up
he
for him,
doesn't.
bro. Pop that up for him. Show him how you
Hey, man.
connect. Show him how you pop it out your pocket.
Oh, you
Show
know,
him how you
it
pop
just
it out
comes
your
straight
pocket.
out, boom, it come out, and you just get the clicking. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Tell me if
one-on-one
y'all
for
seen
your
this before,
boy.
for
Listen,
sure.
man,
If y'all have ever seen that before, let us
Sometimes you
know.
don't want to use the finger. Sometimes you just want to, get the sliding on them.
Pause.
Technology.
Hey, but shout out to y'all. Much love. Enjoy the game. We'll be back after the game.
Yes.
We all silly like the mayor.